So you guys remember the DoorDash girl? Well, she's been formally indicted and she's facing jail time as well as financial ruin. This video today comes from Legal Mindset.
Hey guys, I just lost my job. The police are doing nothing. This is a man's world. I'm the victim. Remember? I'm the victim.
Ugh.
Olivia Henderson, aka DoorDash Girl, is absolutely finished after her criminal indictment has come down, and now she's going to have some major legal consequences. We're going to talk about that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. This is a Fast Facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So for those that may have missed it, this is our defendant here today, Olivia Henderson. She is the DoorDash Girl, and she became quite famous when she entered she essentially pushed open the door on a house that she was delivering DoorDash to, and she saw a man inside that was half naked. Now he was passed out from alcohol consumption, as the facts will later go.
Yeah, that was foul. Look at that, man.
That's f***ed up.
Oh, we know. Because you did it.
But indeed, Olivia claimed, hey, this man SA'd me, right? And this guy was out here SAing me, and therefore the police need to come. Everybody needs to pay me. I need to be, I'm the victim here. She claimed.
And that's the problem in this whole case, is that passive act, that couple seconds of video clip right there, is what she's using to justify that she was SA'd. And she was loud and very vocal about the fact that she felt like she was wronged in that moment, when she's the only one that's perpetrating, and she's got the charges to match that.
To be victim.
I'm the victim. Remember?
Veins popping out of her head. Oh,
well, despite her Me Too-esque claims, it in fact was her who ended up getting in criminal trouble because of this. So Miss Henderson here, Olivia Henderson, was arrested after recording and posting images of the man on TikTok. So she took those images, took those video, posted on TikTok. It got all around, right? People were able to see the man, see his house. In the original video, his house number was visible. So you had all of that visible, exposing his location, his person, him while he's passed out unconscious.
And that's really going to open him up to some type of retaliation. If somebody was to believe her claim that somebody out here is exposing themselves to female DoorDash drivers, as she has framed this, as she worked up in her, I don't know if she's at a mental evaluation, but in her demented mind, she decided that this guy did this on purpose, and this is something that he does on a regular basis. This is what they think of you, fellas. Unfortunately, if you're not careful, you can end up just like this customer.
I'm going to keep telling my story. Like, this is the only justice I'm getting, is exposing this man and having posted that video, and it has gone viral. Like, now he can live with shame and embarrassment if people have seen it and know.
Mind you, she's doing this in a robe that doesn't look completely secure. And she's talking about being objectified at the exact same time. This is kind of crazy. You couldn't even write this.
Knows who he is or where he, you know what I'm saying?
So she was arrested on that back last year, and it's been quite a while, but she was finally indicted by a grand jury. That's just citizens that are drafted out to do the indictment instead of the district attorney. There's kind of those two different methods of bringing an indictment on two felonies, one of unlawful surveillance and another of distribution of the unlawful surveillance image. And that's absolutely huge news, and that's absolutely something that was breaking right now. But one thing that very few people are talking about, we're going to talk about today on The Legal Mindset, is the massive civil liability she now clearly has under New York state law. Let's get right into it. So let's look at the indictment and the charges that kind of rolled down. So here you see the file from the New York State with Olivia Henderson, birth year 2002. You see the indictment, the incident was on October 12th, 2025.
This thing happened in October of last year. That's the crazy thing. But as far as the money that he should get for this, there's no dollar amount that can match the embarrassment of being exposed in that way. But she's going to be paying for the rest of her life. She's got a public defender now. She's claiming she was broke, that DoorDash was her only source of income. She might be paying for the rest of her life.
Arrest was in November by Oswego City Police. Her defense attorney, she's going with the public defender's office. She does not have anything but a public defender at this point. And obviously the assistant district attorney is on the other side of that with her next appearance there in May. So all of that's coming up. She's got this indictment, which means, hey, a grand jury felt there was enough evidence to proceed on this, to bring her to trial. And what that also means to me is not only is this going to go forward with felonies, but also there's potential civil liability. Now, why do I think that's a big thing?
Yep.
That's a huge thing because this is her first time offense for the criminal charges. Those will probably be light. As much as everyone wants to say this might be 8 years in prison, etc., it won't be. This will probably be a slap on the wrist at best with probation or a split sentence.
Each one of the charges carry 4 years, so 8 years is the maximum. I don't think anybody really assumed that she was going to serve 8 years in prison over this. But the fact of the matter is that civil liability, just like they did with O.J. Simpson, they constantly, it's something that just constantly came up until the day he died, that ruling was against him. So say what you want to say about it, but Olivia might have just ruined her future and her future earnings at such a young age, you know.
Criminal charges are honestly going to be a joke when it comes down to it, and she's probably going to enter into a plea deal.
Slap on the
But when you
wrist.
look at the civil side and the potential civil liability, particularly under the special New York law that nobody has talked about so far, that is absolutely going to destroy her. So turning over to that, after we look at the charges here, once again, the dissemination of a surveillance video and the unlawful surveillance, when we turn over to the massive liability, we look at New York Civil Rights Law, Section 52B. This is for allowing a private right of action for non-consensual dissemination of intimate images, otherwise known as, people know it as revenge porn.
Yep.
Now, this statute is not just for stuff.
Isn't that crazy? Revenge porn is being used against somebody that they probably thought it wouldn't be. That was a law that was probably made to protect women more so. But the fact of the matter is that men can be the victims of revenge porn as well, especially in this circumstance, especially in the pursuit of TikTok glory and fame, especially
Posted online. It's not just for ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends. It's really for any sort of image that is being posted without somebody's consent. And it covers directly on point secret recording like this. This is something that fits spot on with this and the posting of unclothed bodies without consent. And mind you, this situation, it's very interesting because of the genders and people not coming to think of this. But if the genders had been flipped here, if that had been a woman inside and a male DoorDash driver, certainly I think people would have thought about this civil liability right away. But
100%.
I think perhaps people thought, okay, because it's a man and there's essay thrown out, there's this kind of Me Too-esque allegation, we're not going to think about this. But this is very, very direct and very, very on point. And this allows for massive injunctive relief, compensatory damages, punitive damages, and attorney's fees. And because of that, this will absolutely ruin her life. So let me jump over to my judgment. So Olivia is likely going to enter a plea deal or a verdict with a light sentence as a first-time offender. The felonies are not going to land her 8 years in prison. She'll probably get a couple months at best. More likely, she's going to get probation and some sort of time outside of prison, maybe community service, etc. She's not going to be serving the 8 years. However, if this man brings a civil lawsuit using this law, and we're just talking about this one law, they could potentially recover $500,000 in compensatory damages and up to $2 million in punitive damages just on this. That's kind of an average outcome when you've got something that has gone viral, that has been widespread on the internet, that exposes his name, very intimate, obviously intimate details, his location, etc. All of those factors point to a massive claim. And not only that, but this is very similar to the case of Vitaly, where Vitaly defamed someone, calling them made a criminal accusation, much as she made that Me Too-esque allegation about SA. But
not only that, it reminds us all on this side of the internet of the Brick Lady. I've covered the Brick Lady story on this case. Go back and check out some of the old videos on that. Brick Lady, I don't know. She should be out of jail right about now, but she's not allowed on the internet for a long period of time. So we won't be able to find out about it. I'm pretty sure somebody like Daphne might have the information on whether she's been released or not, because she was involved very closely in that case. But Olivia has ruined her life.
Case, and when we're comparing the two, in both cases, you have potential defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Those both apply here. Same in the Vitali case and same over here. So if you pile that on top of the liability under 52B, you're looking at potential multi-million-dollar lawsuit here that could absolutely ruin her. So I think in my conclusion that she absolutely deserves the maximum punishment. And this is something that needs to happen so that copycats don't try to do the same thing or try to post this information online. I think should be absolutely discouraged. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.
Oh, yeah, man. Shout out to Legal Mindset. That was a great breakdown, great rundown. But the fact of the matter is Olivia Henderson has now set a precedent, you know, because think about it. Years ago, when some of these laws were created, we didn't have TikTok and the ability to go viral so easily. You know, I always say TikTok is the one social media site for people who weren't necessarily successful on other social media sites. All of a sudden, they're seeing some attention. All of a sudden, they're getting so much energy back. And that's why she comes up with the bright idea that this signifies that she is a victim, and this is something that she needs to share to her audience and disseminate to a large amount of people, whether he's naked or not. Because believe it or not, she shared that video uncensored. She shared that video uncensored. Like, what type of judgment call is that? Like, that's why I said she needs to be psychologically evaluated. I don't know if there's a plea of insanity for this, but you can tell by some of her unhinged videos that something else a little deeper might be going on. And, you know, that's all. This is all speculation. I don't have any information about that. But the fact of the matter is, this chick has really systematically ruined her life. She might end up owing millions of dollars into the future based on one split-second decision while she was working. That's crazy. But, you know, she mentioned several times in her TikToks following up that she was looking to make money from the Creator Fund. So there was a financial incentive for her going viral. So this becomes one of the most egregious versions of someone clout chasing to the point. They're seeking TikTok fame to the point that they end up harming themselves. It's a shame, man. But she gonna learn this lesson one way or another. They said a hard head makes a soft ass, and she is about to feel it. I don't know where she gets off the idea that this is assault. Like the fact that he would be laying there knocked out asleep with his pants down. Like obviously he was drunk and he was inebriated beyond belief. He's ordering some Wendy's, trying to have a good night, falls asleep on the couch. And that's the other question, too. A lot of people are asking. It would appear that she allegedly pushed that door open more than it was so that she can then share everybody the video. So there were some actions on her part. You know, this wasn't completely passive, a completely passive incident that she then decided to disseminate to the public. It's a mess, man. But anyway, let me know what you all think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. Make sure you sign up for the Faucette Media Patreon. The link is in the description. That's where it really goes down. A lot of videos that aren't available here on YouTube from Faucette Media. This is Faucette Media.